Okay, so at the last minute today, our team leader decided to throw together a Christmas thing tomorrow. So we're all supposed to bring Christmas treats. So I'm gonna make dirty snowballs, but I already did half a batch, so I'm gonna make one of the other flavors. I'll kind of explain how you have to make the other one, the original batch. Excuse me. The original batch, you need a block of cream cheese, bag of Oreos, and white chocolate chips. For this batch, I'm going to do peanut butter ones. So, for this batch, I need chocolate chips, bag of Oreos. These are the chocolate ones. Doesn't really matter because I'm not going to use the centers. So, but they were supposed to be the peanut butter ones, but they didn't have any of them. And then jar of peanut butter. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. My other batch is in the fridge cooling, so I can actually just jump right in and show you guys how to cover them in the chocolate. I'm gonna start with, okay, so we don't need this. Don't need this yet. Okay, so you have a bowl to mix it in. This one, I'm going to use it right now to put the centers in, but this is what I'll melt the chocolate in later. And then wax paper to put them on. Bag, I'm going to need it. And something to crunch with. I usually use a rolling pin, but I don't know where mine is right now, so I have the heaviest, flattest bottom plate in the house. You really want to get them into a kind of a fine crush when you do it. So, okay, so I'm going to start with this. Okay, so take this over here. There. Okay, so I'm going to take and twist them apart. And if it leaves a little bit on there, that's fine. If you feel it's too much, you can scrape it off. Take my fork. And if you break the cookie, it's fine because you're going to break them down anyway. So, you just twist them apart. Scrape off. And you're only going to use probably, well, this is the smaller bag, so probably about 2 rows of them to do it. You could do it with a whole bag, but it might turn out a little bit too dry. So you only want to use about 2 rows. Now, if you did get the double stuffed like I did with the regular ones, you can go ahead and use the whole bag because obviously there's less cookies, more cream. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause and we'll come back once I've scraped and set up these cookies. Okay, I have my cookies in there, and the centers in the bowl. Put the bowl off to the side because we don't need it anymore. I'm going to take and try and get as much air out of here as possible. Close it. Press it a little bit. And take your plate. Or my knuckles cracked. That was bad. You just want to get them like as finely crushed as you can. You can use a blender, or I did use a NutriBullet one time, but it's the middle of the night and there are people sleeping, so I'm not going to be making a bunch of noise. That's what happens when you're a night owl. You do weird things like cook in the middle of the night. Grinding them together helps. So if you can roll the bag up and kind of grind them off of each other, they'll break up even better. Like I said, you want to get them as kind of finely powdered as you can, because we don't want big old chunks of cookie. Chunks pop down. Okay, pretty good. That's pretty good. Put too many big chunks. Feels mostly powdery. So it's kind of looks like, well, powdered Oreo. Okay. And you take and put that in your bowl. Break up any bigger pieces you see, because even with a rolling pin you don't get it all the way broken down. Okay, that's good stuff. Okay. Then you take whatever your innards is. Like I said, normally you would use cream cheese, but this is the peanut butter recipe, so I'm going to do it with the peanut butter. And I don't really want to use the whole jar, because peanut butter is a little more gooey than cream cheese is. We're going to use a pretty good amount of it. You can actually get it out of the jar. Probably about 2/3 of the jar. You just want to, oops, no cookie everywhere. Mix it together. So just all mixed in. If you feel like there's not enough in there, you can add more. But you don't want it to be super gooey, because then they won't hold together. Kind of got to be a cakey, with a little bit of goo to it. So that's good and mixed together. Okay, so then I'm going to take some wax paper. Roll it into a ball. This is not working that well. It's just a little bit too gooey. That's the problem with peanut butter, is it gets super gooey really quick because it melts a lot faster than the cream cheese. You're gonna get your hands dirty. So if you have any rings, take them off. Mine are over there on the table. So. But you just want to make it into a ball as best as you can. They look gross, but they smell really good. Now, if you use the grinder and grind the cookie up more, maybe don't put so much peanut butter, it actually forms a pretty good ball. I think those were probably the best ones we ever did, was when we used the grinder. Excuse the dogs barking in the background. There's probably someone walking down the street. There's a bunch of weirdos in my town. That had a lot of peanut butter in it. That doesn't want to stick together right. Like I said, you're gonna get dirty. There's just no way around it. actually typically call these ones reindeer poop. Mainly because it looks like you're playing with a pile of poop. Landing on the floor. Somebody's gonna step on that tomorrow. I think that's about all of it. Yep, that's all of it. Okay. So I'm gonna pause for a minute and go wash my hands because it really looks like I've been playing in poop. Be right back. If I can get the pause. Okay, so I went ahead and stuck those in the fridge to cool down because they have to be pretty cold in order to be able to handle them and put them in the chocolate. So my kids are going to love this. There's a bunch of extra Oreos floating in the house now. Okay, so now I'm going to do the red velvet ones, and this one you make the same way as the original recipe. So I'm going to use the entire bag. I'm going to put all of the centers, pull those out, and use the entire bag of cookies. And see if we can get this to not be so gooey. Okay? Okay, so take in your bag. Same thing. These ones have cream cheese in the middle, but so I might actually just eat this center. They're good stuff. Actually, just dropped some in my lap. But same thing as with the last ones. These are actually coming apart easier than the other ones did. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the bag, and we'll come back. Okay, so got my cookies in there. Centers in the bowl with the centers from the other batch. And this time I'm going to use the bottom of this bowl, if it doesn't make too much noise. Mainly because I used the plate to put the other ones in the fridge. Bowl is no longer useful. go. That's going to look even better than the other one was. I think I might do a little more. Little redneck ingenuity right there. So if you have a flat bowl, the side of it will work as a roller. Finding little big pieces in there. Got it. All right. So once again, dump it into the bowl. You can see the little spots where the cream got stuck to the inside of the bag, so there's just a little bit of cream left on some of the cookies. Right over that token. Bigger pieces that were sitting in the center. Brush those down. So we have a good powdery mix. There's still some good sized chunks in there though. Baking habit. Do it all the time. End up with flour prints on my butt when I bake with flour. Pretty funny. Okay. Cream cheese. I'm going to start with half block. See if we can make this one not be so gooey. Oop, I just dropped it on the table. Good thing my table's clean. This was pretty hard. Put that off there. I'm just going to go ahead and go hands in. Just like you're mixing in meatloaf. These ones are going to be better. They're already sticking better. So every time you want to try and move it around so that the dry ingredients get pushed into the center, so you're actually getting them all. They get all mixed in. There we go. I haven't decided on a name for these ones yet. They're kind of blood red. But it's not Halloween, so I can't name them anything like bloody balls or eyeballs or anything like that. It's Christmas, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to call these ones yet. Okay, so see how that's holding together way better than the peanut butter one did. I'm all throwing cookie chips everywhere. Okay. It's actually coming right off my fingers. Okay. Trash bag. Okay, now with this one, I should be able to do the actual. Yeah. Actual ball. So maybe if you do the peanut butter ones, do the whole bag instead of just 2 rows like I did. Because those peanut butter ones were super gooey. Forgot peanut butter melts so quickly. Every time I do these, it's a learning curve. They're different every time. They're never the same. Sometimes I do different flavors too. These were the cookies that they had, so I thought the red velvet ones would work perfect. And you can also do it without the cream cheese and just use the centers, but it doesn't turn out. I think it tastes better with cream cheese, but I like cream cheese, so. So it kind of feels like cookie dough. Just kind of roll it into a bowl, stick it on there. I'm actually probably only going to take about half of these to work, and the other half I want to package up and give to family members on Christmas. And literally this cost me less than 20 bucks. Actually, I think the total was 23. And that was because I didn't have any wax paper or Ziploc bags. So... I'm going to go grab one of the other batches out of the fridge and put these in to cool. Now if you want, you can stick them in the freezer. Let them freeze if you want. Usually it takes about 30 to 40 minutes for them to cool all the way. And like I said, I had already made the first batch, so I'll just lay that over like that. I'm going to put these ones in the fridge, melt the chocolate for these ones, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I forgot the optional topping. I walked out, saw it sitting there, and was like, oh yeah. So in here I have 4 unpeeled broken candy canes. Take and crush them up a little more. Excuse the inside of my dirty bowl. The one I just used, I haven't rinsed it yet. A little harder to crunch. And this is how I'm going to tell the red velvet from the original recipe, because once there's chocolate on them, you can't tell what's inside of them. I'm bending my bowl. Now it smells like peppermint candy in here. So that's crushed up enough. That's good. Okay, now back to what I was doing. I'm going to go put my dirty dishes in the kitchen, rinse this bowl out, and melt me a bag of chocolate. Okay, so I have my melted chocolate chips here, and I just melted them in the microwave. Took about 5 minutes. Do it. First one, you do it for a minute, then you kind of stir them up. They're not even close to melted, and then you do it for 2 minutes, and then stir them up, and then do it for another 2 minutes, stir them up again. And then you got to move really fast because once this starts to cool, it gets real hard real fast, and you will have to put it back in the microwave. So just drop that in there, kind of move it around. Well, that didn't work out very well. My suction cup came loose. Okay. So you can see I've got it sitting there to cool. See if we can do this without knocking the camera over again. And you got to move fast because the chocolate, like I said, does cool pretty quickly. May actually have to put it back in the microwave again. Okay. Drop the camera and all that. This is why they're called dirty snowballs. It looks like you rolled a ball of mud in the snow. These are normally a lot better looking. You're not cooperating with me tonight. Chocolate again. Get up so it doesn't get clumpy on me. The other trick you can do is just drop it in the bowl. Kind of loop the chocolate over it, and then you can find it. Yeah, they're just not cooperating with me tonight. This one is falling apart. Put that one back together. So they're cool. Peppermint clips on them. That one fell through too. Just not liking me today. Hopefully this works out better with the other ones because these are just not working today. Can't even get them to come off my fingers. I seriously don't think I've ever had a batch give me this much trouble. This needs to be melted a little more, so I'm going to pause and melt it again. And get the damn thing to pause. Okay, so the thing I forgot about Nestle's is that if you put them in the microwave for too long, they start getting powdery instead of melting. And so I added a little bit of milk, and now I have a nice soupy concoction. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. And then drop that in there. These ones are gonna probably double dip them. Let them cool and then dip them again. Because it's like super soupy now. Forgot, that's why I don't buy those ones anymore. You can also use confectioner's chocolate, but it's not as sweet. But there was a kind that I was buying before that worked a lot better. They did not have them at the store, so I bought the Nestle. And this is what I get. This is what happens when you only make a treat once a year. You have to remember how to make it every single time. I am getting chocolate everywhere. I think I'm going to go ahead and double dip them all. Even though those ones already have